Mágat agus tá fáilte ród agus cógordachas ar the question nua. When the topic of autonomous weapons comes up for discussion, as it increasingly does, many people of my age get a flashback to the Terminator films, which saw a time when travelling cyborg Arnold Schwarzenegger sent back to 1984 to assassinate Sarah Connor. The AI identifies and kills women called Sarah Connor in the knowledge that it'll eventually get the right one. It seemed very far-fetching to us growing up in Bandon in County Cork in 1984, that an AI called Skynet might be dispatching a killer robot into the past to eliminate an individual woman. But it doesn't seem too far-fetched now, in the era of Palantir, Anthropic and SpaceX, that the targeting of an individual by a machine could be a reality in just three years' time. At the moment, we live in an era where countries deploy assassinations and accept the so-called collateral damage or killing and maiming of innocent civilians as being okay. I am thinking of the pager attacks on the Hezbollah leadership, which killed and maimed children and other innocent civilians, along with the intended targets. This terrorist attack was designed specifically to cause maximum injury to the targets. In the attacks that killed the Ayatollah Khamenei, the decision was made in the full knowledge that he was likely with his family. His daughter, his granddaughter, his daughter-in-law and his son-in-law were killed in the attack. On the first day of the Iran war, the US launched an attack in an attempt to kill members of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. They hit a school, a primary school, and murdered 156 civilians, including 120 children. A person made that decision to target that complex, to target that building, based upon human intelligence gathered by two supposedly greatest intelligence agencies in the world, Mossad and the CIA. A person made the decision to press the green light on the attack of the Ayatollah based upon the assessment that his death warranted the deaths of those around him. In the case of the pager attack, a person at the highest level of the Israeli government made a decision that they were going to explode devices, not knowing who was holding them, but knowing that wives, parents, siblings, or even children of the intended target would have access to the device or would be in close proximity to the device. A person has to live with the conscience that they pressed go on a decision based upon human intelligence. They also have to live with the consequences, which might mean answering before a criminal court or a higher court for taking that action. Between 7,500 and 10,000 people have been killed by the US and Israeli forces in Iran and Lebanon since the start of the most recent conflict. The deaths of Palestinians in Gaza are nearly tenfold that, the figure standing at over 73,000. Individual people will be held accountable for these war crimes in the future. Every time an Israeli settler or an Israeli soldier makes a decision to squeeze a trigger to kill an unarmed Palestinian, every time an American service person directs a smart bomb into a school, they are committing a war crime. The use of autonomous weapons systems removes that liability. It removes any accountability by an individual for unleashing a weapon which will kill, kill, kill until it has accomplished its mission. This is not science fiction, this is science fact. The Ukrainian military have confirmed that 2 years ago they deployed AI-controlled quadrocopter drones known as Terminators on the front line, killing Russian soldiers. The aim idle searches for and intercepts targets. The maker of the drone said, "We just launch it and we know everything will be dead. Everything will be dead will be found in this particular area will be dead. There is no connection to the drone at all. You can't see the video, nothing. Everything it sees will be killed." This bill could not have come at a more appropriate time, and I really want to commend the Civil Engagement Group for bringing this forward. The restrictions that we have seen the US place upon AI models such as Anthropic's MythOS 5 and Fable 5 upon the export of high-end AI chips and the attempts by the Trump regime to control Anthropic, Palantir and other tech companies, in my opinion, is a recognition of the potential for the absolute explosion of autonomous weapons. But these are not attempts to rein in the destructive power of autonomous weapons. They are an attempt to control and stay ahead of every other country on the planet. The advent of autonomous weapon systems predicted in science fiction books and films has arrived. We must now do everything, absolutely everything we can, not just to control and regulate killer machines, but we must absolutely forbid the development, the testing, the stockpiling, the retention, and the use of autonomous weapon systems in this jurisdiction, and in leading the way by eliminating them throughout the world. In time, this bill may be seen as the first step in a future treaty for the non-proliferation of autonomous weapons, and I would really like to commend the bill and its author for the massive Like we have an opportunity now to show leadership here, and we've started. So Tusma, not in Hebra, the work has started, but we need to all work together now to make sure that it continues. And I welcome that Fianna Fáil they're not blocking it, but I really urge that you will fully support this going through all the passages in the two houses. Armagh.